Good morning, friends. So, in this session, we will discuss tsunami and disaster management. What lessons we have learned, and is there any gaps in our disaster management? Everything we will discuss in detail. So, before that, let me share some disclaimer. So, this is the standard disclaimer. Everybody knows who are following my channel. Friends, if you have not followed, just subscribe my channel and yeah. So, in this session, we will discuss a lot of articles which have come right, which were came in yesterday's newspaper, The Hindu. So especially 2024 tsunami, they are talking about latter the case study like Nagapattinam journey. That is very important article. And what are the lessons we have learned from this disaster management? There are 6 points are there, much more important for writing a mains answer question. And latest one is the disaster management amendment bill 2024. So are there any lapses? Are they whether it is beneficial than the 2005 act? Everything they have discussed, and some of the memories of the tsunami, especially the officials who were worked in the Kudalur district as well as right Nagapattinam districts. They are mentioning their experience. So overall, yesterday's article is very important for disaster management. We'll see in our notepad what we have to discuss and everything we will see. So let me share that one. Yes. Yes, friends. I hope it is visible to everybody. Thank you so much. So this is the pad and title. So we will move as per our structure, right? So let me take that one. Yes. So why it is in news? This is the concept or intro. So what will be the best intro for this? Yes, friends. So December 26, 2024 to December 26, 2024. 2004 to 2024. It is almost 20 years, friends. So 20th anniversary for the 2004 tsunami. That's why the article has come in the news, right? So very important article. That is one thing. So what are the damages caused by this tsunami? So that tsunami, 2004 tsunami, caused nearly 2.27 lakh lives, 2.27 lakh lives, and displaced nearly 17 lakh, 17 lakh people. So these are the deaths and these are the displacements, and a lot of damage to the housing infrastructure, housings, other things, right? So it affected how many countries? Nearly 17 countries, right? So that is the thing. We will see some of the things in the background. What is meant by tsunami? Tsunami is the very important topic in the disaster management. So tsunami is a series of ocean waves. A tsunami is a series of ocean waves, friends. So how these ocean waves displaces water. These ocean waves displaces water which were caused by or resulted from by undersea earthquakes. There are a lot of reasons are there for the tsunami. So these are very important for MCQs. Undersea earthquake, undersea, everything is undersea. Undersea landslides, and volcanic eruption undersea, Are there any other reasons? Right, what will happen in undersea? Right, so we have human activities also, like human activities in the undersea, that is nuclear test. So nuclear test can be done undersea as well as under the earth. Similarly, ice breaking or large chunks of ice, right? So from the glaciers which will fall into the ocean can generate localized tsunami. So this is the localized tsunami it will cause. These are the major reasons for for the tsunami, especially earthquakes, landslide, volcanic eruption, nuclear test, and ice breaking. So 2004 tsunami caused by which of the reasons? Right. So it is basically Indian Ocean earthquake. So it has occurred in the Indian Ocean. 2004 tsunami I am talking about. 2004 tsunami in Indian Ocean. It is Indian Ocean earthquake. So near the Sumatra, right? Sumatra coast. Yes, origination. This is the origination where it started. Later, it is spread into 7 countries. That's tsunami. Right. This is the important things what we need to remember. Got it? So, if we see, we have covered definition and how this tsunami originated. Right? We have seen. Then we will see what are the pre and post this 2004. So, in pre 2004, we have minimal disaster preparedness. I'm coming to the main topic, that is disaster management. Minimal disaster awareness or preparedness and response and recovery, everything is very very minimal when it comes to disaster management. Post 2004, post 2004, we have equipped with a lot of institutional mechanism, right? And institutions are there. So especially we have 2005 act in India, right? We have, let me talk about that one. After 2004 we have Disaster Management Act 2005, and institutions also are there, like we can talk about ITWC and INCOIS and Hyderabad. So these are the institutions established by the government of India, right? So this is the post and pre what we have done, right? At the same time, we have global preparedness also. Not only in India, we have global preparedness. We will discuss in the fifth fifth section, right? So now we will see some of the challenges, right? So we have covered this one. We have to see the challenges and solutions. We will discuss in detail. So friends, so what are the challenges and issues in the tsunami and disaster management? Because this disaster management, not only this right tsunami and floods, so we have these disaster management events are uncertain. This is one of the very very important, right? So they will come, or they are uncertain, we can't predict generally. So before 2004. So nowadays we are preparing with the help of early warning systems and advanced technology, everything we have established, right? So then some of the challenges like vulnerabilities. So these terms are very important. Vulnerability, disaster, hazard. These are the terms mentioned in the disaster management. So vulnerability. So the vulnerability will sometimes becomes very high, sometimes will become very low. So if you properly managed. So infrastructure. So let us take an example what mentioned in the articles in yesterday paper. So the infrastructure like, so if you see um, Japan, Japan we have Japan we have one tsunami which resulted 18,000 lives, death toll of 18,000 lives, right? So in that tsunami, one of the nuclear plant like Fukushima, right? Fukushima has damaged and caused a lot of lives due to that tsunami. So in the same time 2004 tsunami, we have nuclear plant in India, that is Kalpakam at Tamil Nadu, right? So Kalpakam. So what happened to this nuclear plant? So this nuclear plant shut down immediately. So it shut down immediately during the 2004 tsunami, and it restarted after 6 days. After 6 days, so nothing happened to this Kalpakam nuclear plant. So after 6 days, they started. Right. So this is a good point, and this is the how we have to manage the disaster. So if not properly managed, so we might have seen some more death toll in India. So that is why the importance of disaster management is very important. So that we need to keep in, and it is a good example also, right? So another challenge is like environmental degradation. So environmental degradation, why these tsunamis and these floods will come due to loss of mangrove forest. It is very and prime reason. So why this mangrove forest? Mangrove forest also known as shrimp forest, because shrimp is the shrimp is the seafood for Indian people, and we are also exporting these shrimps in coastal areas of India. So shrimp forest, they farm shrimp farming or aquaculture. But this we are destroying this mangrove forest. We are destroying this mangrove forest because shrimps are grow in the mangroves, and they get the feed from these mangrove trees and these plants whatever there in in this forest. And that's why these mangrove forests are decreasing. Ultimately we are getting floods and these tsunamis and cyclones. So that is the output or consequences what we are getting after the environmental degradation. That is one of the challenge, and overfishing also one of the challenge. After this disaster management, what will happen? Social inequalities will arise. Again, it is very important. So if you take another challenge, social inequalities or social inequity. So during this disaster and after this disaster, rich people able to recover very fast. What about these poor people? This is the question. There is a inequality, right? So if you take some of the vulnerable sections, we need to talk about vulnerable sections or marginalized sections. For example, women, children, women, children, and differently able people. So in this yesterday articles, in one of the articles, they are talking about ground realities. So let us take one example here. some person X who is a poor has taken loan and started one business or something small business like this. And in this tsunami, 2004 tsunami, he lost everything: own house, business infra, and business product, everything he lost. And loan people are pressuring him for their money. So how this guy able to repay that loan? Anybody? Right? So very difficult situation. Very difficult, right? This is one of the real ground realities what they are talking. So these type of challenges will come during this and after this disaster management or this one, right? So now we will see some of the solutions. So if you want to write other challenges, like you can mention, for example, I will give some of the brief, like, so due to this disaster management, it is a common challenges. So we can talk about this one, like common challenges. So this is the infra, right? So food like crops, so monetary things will lose, economic disruption, because production will go down in that area, finally leading to GDP low, right? These are the common challenges, and need again investment by government, health health issues, and education challenges because schools are shut down. These are the common challenges. If you want, you can write, but we don't get any much more marks when compared to these are the main reasons what we have to put in the exam paper. So friends, now we will see some of the solutions. So we have institutional frameworks by the Indian government. Later we will see global frameworks as well as some of the common solutions what we need to provide. So first one is the we need to keep the importance of the disaster management. So we have Disaster Management Act 2005. So in this act we have hierarchy. They have provided accountability. Why I am talking these terms, you will get to know in the recent update, that is Disaster Management Amendment Bill. And inclusivity. So if you see at the top, National Disaster Management Authority has established. It is headed by the Prime Minister. And this disaster management concepts come to the Ministry of Home Affairs. So these are the very very important for MCQs. So under this NDMA we have State Disaster Management Act or Authority. So based on this we have established National Disaster Response Force, State Disaster Response Force, and fund also we have established, and fund we have also established. So these are the institution framework, right? So from the, if you see in the state disaster management, we have district collector for each district. So till the, right, till the gram panchayat or sarpanch, we have hierarchy and some their roles. So this includes NGOs, right? So this also includes NGO roles, very very important. So this is the overall framework given by the Disaster Management Authority, Disaster Management Act 2005. So very simple thing. This is a good institution, right? So when it comes to second, that is we have early warning systems. early warning systems. Right. So early warning system, it was established by the Ministry of Earth Sciences. We have one institution, that is ITEWC. Right. So ITEWC. Later we have inquiries which give the alerts in the, so already discussed ITEWC. This is warning systems and inquiries at Hyderabad. These are the early warning system. Right. So these are the things, and we have National Disaster Management Plan. National Disaster Management Plan 2016. Why it was established and what are the contents also we will discuss in the global framework, because it is following the global framework. So these are the things, institutional frameworks when the comes to the Indian, when it comes to global approach or global collaboration or global institution. So global institutions we will see, because 2004 tsunami itself affected 17 countries. So global countries alert themselves, right? So that is, if you see, first one is the, let me copy some of the global institution without writing this one, right? So let me share some of the things here. Friends, yes, I hope it is visible to everybody. Yes, if not, please let me know in the chat box. Yes. So friends, discuss now. We will discuss now. So first one is the Sendai framework and what are the key priorities. Then we have Hujo framework. It is already over. That successive one is the Sendai framework. Yes, friends. Now let me talk their key principles and what the things are they're doing. We will discuss in detail. Yes. So friends, if you see Sendai framework. So Sendai framework is the framework for disaster risk reduction. It started in 2015 and ends in the 2030. So before that we have Hujo framework. Hujo framework for action. After 2004, immediately the global countries alerted and they taken one of the framework like Hujo. Hujo. So they integrated their disaster risk reduction into sustainable development policies and planning in their development criteria. So the integration of disaster risk reduction is the main key point for the Hujo framework. So after this, the successive one is the Sendai framework. So they planned four priorities in this Sendai framework. Like understanding, first we need to understand what is disaster and what is the risk. Then strengthening their disaster risk governance and investing, because without investment funding is very very important, right? So right now if you see climate change fund, that is very very important. Many countries are not providing the fund, so that's why that even Trump also avoiding this climate change, right? So COP29, and we have this one, right? Paris climate agreement and climate funding. So he is totally out of this range, he is not interested. So this investment is very very important. That's why Sendai framework for disasters, they are talking about investing in the disaster risk reduction for resilience and enhancing preparedness and response and recovery. So these are the very very important after the and disaster. So how to respond effectively when the disaster happened, and we should also prepare before the disaster coming. These three are very very important: preparation, response and recovery. And third important one is the sustainable development goals, which are also in the same period 2015 to 2030, as well as in sync with the Sendai framework. So we have goal 13, so climate action. So it talks about the resilience and climate related hazard. So especially climate change, global warming, and greenhouse gases, everything comes in the this SDG 13. Whenever if you are writing these concepts, try to mention this SDG 13, which is climate action. So similarly, we have goal 11, that is SDG 11, that is sustainable cities. It talks about the risk reduction in the urban areas. So if we see, we have recently we are amending this NDMA, uh, Disaster Management Act 2005. So we are amending and we are bringing new bill, that is 2024 Disaster Management Bill. So in that bill we are talking about urban things, right? Urban disaster management. So in the previous we don't have that such one, but nowadays we are getting that one, because to align with this goal, so further reduce the disaster in the urban areas. So to align that goal also, we are mentioning that urban disaster management concepts. When it comes to goal 13, so good health and well-being, and it talks about the disaster impacts on the health system. So that is very very important. So finally, we have global platform for disaster risk reduction. It is organized by the disaster risk reduction UN office. So for it is for MCQs. Just remember the things. So friends, these are the global platforms which are working for disaster things. Now we will see some of the general solutions, right? So general solutions like so in the article, in one of the article, right? In one of the article, they are talking about six solutions in the article. They're talking about six solutions. So in the first solution, as a first solution, is mentioning giving importance to the mangrove forest, right? So mangrove forest, importance to the mangrove forest. So friends, we know mangrove serves as a natural protection for the coastal areas, especially to buffer the biggest waves, because tsunami waves surge with a rapid speed, more than 100, 200, up to 500 they come. So to buffer against that waves, mangrove forests are very very important. But unfortunately, we are significantly destroying these mangrove forest. For what? For stream forming and meeting the fuel things and wood and tourism perspective. Finally, we are destroying our ecosystem. To counter this, we are also building some of the walls like artificial barriers like brick and mortar walls, so that actually that walls may not susceptible for the biggest waves. So that's why importance of this mangrove forest is very very important instead of brick walls. Brick walls don't prefer, or artificial walls don't prefer, try to improve the natural ecosystem. That is one important. And second thing is the beach. So beaches should be controlled by the public, like government, right? So it should not be given to the private property. So if in the article they are mentioning Thailand as an example. So in Thailand government given beaches to, right? So beaches to the private people. They established luxury hotels and tourism, they are given importance. Finally what happened, so different types of things are negative negative things are there. So their economy slowdown, right? And informal, like many people are working in the informal, like especially in the sex industry they are working. So global their economy fluctuation for the global activities. So this is the one of the drawback, and prone to disasters, that is also one. So that's why we need to keep the beaches in our government control. These are the general solutions. After that, the author talked about how to maintain the social equity social equity giving importance to social equity, how they are preparing, and especially awareness. So in the social equity, give the awareness, preparedness, and recovery that should come by the initiatives of the NGOs as well as government things, right? So at the same time, we need to talk about the regional cooperation, friends. So regional cooperation. So regional cooperation. So if you take Asian countries more prone to disasters. So they need to have cooperation among themselves. Especially we can talk about maybe SAARC countries, BIMSTEC countries. The things will be more similar, so they need to cooperate and collaborate and give the capacity building. These activities are the general solution: capacity building, cooperation regionally and globally. This we can mention. These are the general solutions. So friends, these are the things. Now we will move to next topic, next section, that is the any views by the aspirant. So friends, being an aspirant, you should be very optimistic. At the same time, you can talk about your views. One is optimistic. So here you can talk about a general example, that is Nagapattinam case study. So one article has come and entirely dedicated to this Nagapattinam. So what is this Nagapattinam? So Nagapattinam is one of the district in the Tamil Nadu, district of Tamil Nadu, right? Mainly affected, majorly affected by this 2004 tsunami. So there is another district, that is Kudaluru. Kudaluru also affected, but majorly affected by the Nagapattinam. So this district, right? So how this district uh, responded and recovered, and what it has taking its future plans. Right? That is very very important, and how the infra roads, like we can talk about in detail, like roads, bridges, everything with proper planning and everything, they came to normality in a less span. So that is very very important thing that you can take. So even though big disasters come, and we can also recover immediately with the help of proper management system, right? So that is the one important thing you can being an optimist you can take. And being an a critic, you can also talk about some other gaps, because critical things are important. So if you take critic, being critic, so we can talk about lack of inclusive recovery methods. So inclusive recovery methods, inclusive recovery measures that are not properly giving, and some of the people like marginal communities are excluding, and environmental impacts are there. So that is the biggest challenge, environmental impacts. So you can talk about like this. So these are the main things when it comes to this one. So finally friends, we will conclude the article in a nice way in the tsunami and some other disaster. So 2004 is the turning point. We can talk like this one. So 2004 tsunami is a turning point, is a turning point in the disaster management, not only in India but also in the entire global countries, right? So we need to strengthen our research, and global collaboration and inclusive recovery are essential. We can give like a way forward like this in a positive way. Strengthening of research. Strengthening of research, inclusive recovery, and global collaboration are very, very important uh, to become resilient for the future disaster. For future disasters. So friends, these are the overall this some of the articles, and nicely we have completed. And we have one of the important topic that is a disaster amendment bill. We will see that one. So disaster, briefly we will see disaster management amendment bill. So friends, I have already discussed disaster management act 2005 and its thing, and now we will see here disaster management, right? So disaster management. Friends, yeah, sorry for the disturbance. This is 2024 amendment bill. So there are slight some of the changes, like inclusion of, if we talk some of the inclusions, like urban disaster management. So urban disaster management authority are there being, but there is no clarity in this. There is a no clarity. So, and with respect to roles, already there is a municipal corporation in city level, and it is providing a lot of revenue, but still there is a no clarity in this urban disaster management authority, their roles and their things. And when it comes to this one, completely they are ignoring or overlooking some of the key terms, like it means, so there is no fixing accountability. So it means they are diluting this existing disaster management act, right? So that is a criticism for the upcoming bill, and it is also excluding vulnerable people, excluding vulnerable people or marginalized people. So another criticism faced by upcoming this one, right? So lack of regional cooperation. So right now friends, we are talking about regional cooperation is very, very important in this digital area, but still we are lacking regional collaboration. Actually it should have mentioned like sarc, beamsteak. There should be some provisions for this our in region collaboration, but completely it is ignoring. So because we are good at bricks, so we can also include that one, but we are completely ignoring in the upcoming bill. And right, so these are the overall upcoming bill. And so totally the people are calling it as a, this upcoming bill, they are concluding this disaster new management new bill, it is a missed opportunity. They are terming like this, it is a missed opportunity. There is an opportunity to consider these all things, but we are missing that opportunity. That's why they are mentioning it is a missed opportunity. And moreover, it is files to include this, files to include Sendai framework guidelines. So friends, in in 2016 we have national disaster 2016 we have national disaster management policy, friends. National disaster management policy, so which is aligned with the Sendai framework rules. We have mentioned four goals, right? So understanding what is disaster and investment, right, and collaboration, capacity building, everything we have mentioned. So that follows this national disaster management policy in stepwise. But in the upcoming bill we are completely missing the opportunity. So these are the things. Now we will move to some of the questions. So friends, these are the previous questions, so highly tough questions. So they are, moreover they are out of these some of the topics, but you can write some, you can take the some of the inputs from this article. So let me read some of the questions. The frequency of earthquakes appears to have increased in subcontinent. So however, India preparedness for mitigating their impact has significant gap. Yes, friends. So they are mentioning what are the gaps in the disaster mitigation, friends. So mitigation is the one of the thing. So whatever the gaps are there, you can talk like challenges and discuss various aspects. So we can write some of the only gaps from the article. So try to equip with these points in your notes. Next question is, what measures have been taken to mitigate impact of recent tsunami in Indian Ocean region? So whatever the measures we have taken. So we have in institutional frameworks, you can talk about everything. So 2004 tsunami you can mention there. So after this we have not only in India, we can talk about global measures like Sendai framework, Hujo framework, and SDG goals, right? And disaster risk reduction platform, everything you can talk. So these are the institutional framework. After that, when it comes to India, we have National Disaster Management Act and authority like established in the DM 2005. Later, complete structure you can mention there, and 2016 National Disaster Management Plan, which align with the Sendai frame. Also, you can talk about there, right? So discuss the technology especially. So now they are mentioning what is the technology and the community participation like NGOs, that you need to discuss, right? So especially when the role of technology means, you need to talk about ISRO role, friends. So how ISRO is sending satellites and how the alerts are going to in the like especially in cyclones, floods, and heat waves. So that mechanism you can mention. And is there any regional, especially we have in Hyderabad, we have alert system that you can also mention. Now, next question, discuss role of mangroves. So what is mangrove forest? Mangrove forest is a shrimp forest. So how they are protecting coastal areas such as tsunamis and cyclones. So friends, that you need to mention. So first you need to have the basic concept. What is tsunami? Tsunami is the ocean waves. Cyclone also similar things. Ocean waves. They move with a rapid speed. So from 70 kilometers to 500 kilometers they move. So how? So that's why the coastal areas and the coastal infrastructure like houses and buildings and industries will deeply damage when the wave speed is very high. So that's why mangrove forest in the ocean, they protect, they decrease the speed of the things, that you need to mention. And what steps have been taken to conserve, they are talking about and restore mangrove forest, that we need to mention. Any policies are there, especially mangrove forest, and any schemes are there, that you need to talk about this one, right? So we have latest schemes in the budget also, you can deep dive yourself. Yes. What is, yes, next question. The Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction emphasizes the building resilience, especially. Yes. So friends, in Sendai framework, it is the 2015 to 2030, right? So it is accepted with the global countries. So we have four things, right? We have four things that is the key priorities for the Sendai framework. So that you need to mention. How has India aligned this disaster management? Yes. So how these four principles, how aligned means, we have national disaster management policy. So they are slightly asking about India national disaster management policy 2016 key things. So that you can, the same things you can mention again here in the same policy. So friends, now we will see the prelims questions. Which of the following phenomena might have influenced evolution of organisms? So continental drift, okay, glacial cycles, volcanic activities, tsunamis. So they are mentioning about evolution of organism. Friends, all are directly or indirectly influence the evolution of organism. So the answer will be all. With reference to ocean waves. So ocean waves, consider the following statements. Tsunamis can occur only during earthquakes. So this is the friends, this is the only term you can straight away eliminate that one. So tsunamis not only occur earthquakes. So undersea, whatever the activity in the undersea, whether it may be a earthquake, whether it may be a landslide, whether it may be a nuclear test, whether it may be a volcanic eruption or human act, yeah, and large scale ice break, localized things. So all these four are undersea, and large ice breaking also cause localized. So there are a lot of reasons are there, but they are mentioning only. So you can eliminate. Tsunami can travel at the speed of several hundred kilometers per. Yes, friends, they can travel up to 500 kilometer per hour. So this is the correct answer. Tsunamis can travel entire ocean. Yes, friends, they can travel. So the answer would be 2, 3. Which of the following are consequences of heavy sand mining in riverbeds? Sand mining. So decreased salinity, pollution in groundwater. Friends, if you remove sand from this, so there is a chance of pollution. Right? When the sand decreases, there is a chance of some other things will come and pollute that environment. Water table will decreases. That is correct. So salinity there is a no role. So you can take the option 2, 3. So these are the previous. Now we will see some of the relevant questions. So 2004 tsunami was triggered by. So this is the origination they are asking, friends. Volcanic eruption near Naman Island. This is not correct. So they are mentioning earthquake of Sumatra. Yes, friends, this is the correct answer. So answer would be second. So yeah, we have another question regarding to Sendai framework disaster risk reduction. So building resilience infrastructure, yes, correct. Promoting international collaboration in disaster preparedness, okay. So enhancing early warning system, yes, friends, can mention straight away. So the primary cause of mangrove destruction in coastal area, increasing vulnerability to tsunamis. The primary cause is shrimp farming, friends. Yes, so shrimp farming is very very important for economy. So that is another thing. Another thing. So what are the other causes for mangrove destruction, friends? So some people will cut for wood, some people will cut for fuel, right? These are the things, and aquaculture place also they will do, like shrimp only. So friends, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope if you like, you can give a thumbs up, and we will meet in the next session.